improper use of numbers, highly inappropriate.
Ultra chubby.
What was that channel, huh? Only on Choppy SD. Yeah. 4 o'clock channel, episode 1232. Yes, you heard it correctly. 1232. 1232 episode. Featuring Feature Friday, episode 2. We focus on Ditko. It's the Death Star.
It's a fully functional Death Star.
That's what she said.
What's up, Rick?
Oh, there's 2 of them. Oh. Well, 9/11, Charlie Kirk, all kinds of death and destruction, you know.
Yeah. That was during the week. It's Friday. Let's move along.
Move along. You sound like, Ditko Limbo, Mambo.
Nothing to see here. Let's go.
Nothing to see here. I sent this picture to Ryan. Thought it looked like an octopi. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it does kind of look like an octopus, doesn't it? Pretty neat.
Or squid or some
cosmic
some thing that
some
wants
sort
to suck
of,
you right now, or absorb you.
Cephalopod.
I get that. Yeah. Now I think that this is, and I actually had a stat of this. I think this is Black Lightning's first appearance. If we're doing ads, this came out like a month before his Black Lightning #1. So first
Pretty
cameo appearance. Cosmic sperm. Yeah, maybe. Now, in today's modern world, you're going to see a lot of crazy things, psychedelic Steve Ditko and all kinds of stuff. A lot of people think, of the 60s thought Steve Ditko was on drugs, psychedelic drugs because of his imagery, right? There's the man himself back in the 60s, Steve Ditko. At least I think that's him in the 60s. He looked pretty much the same in the 50s.
Yeah.
I like that he has that little sign back there that says, think.
That's right.
That's right.
It's always a good policy to think.
Now, last night I worked, went to Paragould. I told you Paragould was known around here, at least for housing the parents of Oates from Holland Oates.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I picked up, I've not tried this before, IBC Black Cherry.
Oh, I've had their root beer. I never tried the Black Cherry.
I haven't either. So I thought, why not? Since 1919, I believe that says. Or maybe that's 29. Hell, I don't know. I think that's 1919. Black cherry soda.
So, what do you think?
Artificially flavored. Made with real cane sugar.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I like black cherry. My grandmother used to get Shasta black cherry all the time. That was her main soda pop.
Yeah, I used to drink that.
Yes, I agree, Carrie. Oi Savoy. She's using her sexy voice and she says, black cherry is lush. It is.
Oi, Carrie. Good to see you, darling.
We're here to enjoy it with me. I did send out a few links, and there's one more I need to send out. So we'll do that before we get started. Now, next week on Feature Friday, we are covering Steve Ditko Part 2, Part 2,
Ooh.
because there's no way we're going to get through Steve Ditko,
Yeah.
in
Not
1
in one
week
sitting. Yeah.
and doing justice. The man was amazing on his imagery, very simplified form of drawing, but amazing nonetheless.
Yep.
Um,
That's too good.
Black Forest, what is that? Gataru is yummy.
Gâteau? What's a
Gat-
gâteau, Carrie? I'm not
Gateau?
sure.
Really? Gateau? Okay.
Japanese French, fancy French words on me, Carrie.
Speaking of Japanese, welcome to the show,
Hi.
Sabrina. She's
Howdy,
not
howdy.
really Japanese, but
Whoa.
had to work that in there somewhere.
But she might be turning Japanese. She really thinks so.
I don't know that she thinks that at all. No, but she's on the road, and
Do you need me to mute my mic?
no.
No, you're okay. Not too much
So
noise.
here is Steve Ditko from the 1960s picture. I guess I don't know what he's working on there, but very very few pictures that I know of are public of Steve Ditko.
And he did the first 30? Is that what you said?
He did the first 30 plus issues, first plus
Okay.
30 plus issues. I'm not sure the exact number. Ryan says, I read a Transformers Volume 1 by Daniel Warren Johnson last night. It was incredible. Absolutely loved it and highly recommend it. I'm going to show you some Power Rangers Steve Ditko. I'm going to show you some
I didn't know he did any of that.
GoBots Steve Ditko. I don't know if we'll get to it all today. Next week, we'll be talking about Steve Ditko again and featuring some more of his artwork because I want to do the man justice. He was kind of a Howard Hughes type, a recluse. He maintained an office for decades in New York City, but he rarely talked to people. When he would autograph things for people, when they would write him, that was the only way, basically, because he didn't do a lot of conventions at all. I mean, ever,
Right.
Anyway, he would say, I do not sign autographs, Steve Ditko, and sign it, sometimes twice. I'll show you an example of that. So a lot of fun. If you like Steve Ditko, you're going to like this episode. If you don't, you might enjoy it anyway. Because we're here to have fun, right?
Or you may learn to like Steve Ditko.
I've got to be honest with you. I did not have an appreciation of Steve Ditko totally, just like I did in Jack Kirby and some other creators. I like some of the more modern artists at the time, which was Bronze Age goodness with George Perez and other artists like that.
Yeah, John
But
Brown.
now I've since come to appreciate them. Hey, Mike Walters in the house.
Hey, Mike.
Dropping in to like and share and say hi. Hello. So we start off our Ditko, and I really tried to pull up the Charlton stuff, a lot of the Charlton stuff. He worked for Charlton for a long time, off and on, even taking a pay cut to be able to do. Carrie says black. What did you say that word was?
Gâteau?
Gâteau is basically a moist chocolate sponge with cream and black cherry coulis. I don't know. What is that? Cherry sauce with pieces of cherry in it. That sounds over the top for me. I don't know that I would like that too well.
That sounds like a Black Forest cake. I guess gâteau is just a fancy name for the type of cake it is.
And with the chocolate, with the cherry bits, it almost sounds like a
chocolate
so good. Lava cake.
I love a Black Forest cake, man. That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Then on top, it's decorated with fresh whipped cream around the outside and more of the coulis or whatever it is on top with grated chocolate to finish it off. Sounds lush. So we got to get our lizard representation in here. And Steve Ditko did 2 movie properties, Gorgo,
yes, sir,
and Conga. They had tie-in titles published by Charlton Comics, featuring cover and other art by comics legend Steve Ditko, co-creator of Spider-Man and co-creator of Doctor Strange, among others. This is Gorgo from 1961, the monster from the sea. And they're attacking Gorgo with flamethrowers. Not a good idea. So there's your lizard
probably just gonna make them angry
for today. That's Steve Ditko cover. Very nice. You should like that, Shadowhawk. That's your favorite color. Even the logo's green.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome.
Yeah. Now, how would Gorgo sound? We know how Godzilla would sound. And look, they've even got Big Ben in the back.
I've never tried doing Gorgo, and I haven't watched it in like over a year, so I'm gonna have to watch it.
He was more like, he was terrifying sounding. Really?
I'll take your word for it. I remember he was pretty cool, but
remember he had the big mitts that would claw at everything and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Dr. Mask could not join us.
Was a female though, so I remember.
Well, I took Gorgo as being the small kid.
Oh, okay. I got
you. Throughout the whole movie, and then Mama shows up. I don't know what she's called. Oh, Mama, I guess.
Yes.
Big Mama.
Gorgo's Mama.
Yeah. And she was much bigger. She's the one that destroyed Big Ben. Among other things. But yeah, they were more like I can't even do it deep enough. It's really a great monster sound, and really they should do, especially in the Monsterverse, it's really popular in the movies. They really should do a Gorgo movie, I think.
That would be awesome if they remade it, but
if they made
that's
it
one of the ones for whatever reason it's never gotten a sequel
Gorgo
or anything.
Grown Up. Yeah, it was kind of the British. It was a UK movie, off of Godzilla.
I mean, you would have thought they would have made some spin-offs, some other movies or whatever to because I think it was pretty popular when it came out.
Turn me round right, baby, right round like a record, babe. Dr. Mass Retro Elixir that was with us last week covering John Byrne. He says, "Hey Rex, unfortunately I won't be able to make it. I have something that I am doing and I forgot about it. Sorry for that. Hopefully we can do it again soon. Mark." So Dr. Mask will not be, but he's really the inspiration because he was the one that suggested that we focus on Steve Ditko this week, right? So I thought, well, we'll do a part 2 because there's going to be a lot of Steve Ditko stuff to look at, right? A lot of interesting Steve Ditko. So we won't get it all in today. So there'll be a part 2, And so the next one we're going to look at is another Charlton, Baron Werewolf's Haunted Library from 1980, number 49. Dr. Mass Retro Elixir actually dropped this one on X. So shout out to Dr. Mask. You may not be here, but your some of your postings are, as well as Marcus Killigrew. I hope he can join us. And I like these issues that later came out in the 70s, early 80s from Charlton that reprinted a lot of stuff, sometimes with original covers, sometimes not. Totally redone for the time though. But some of them would have all Ditko all Ditko art on them, So from what is it on a ship's something to stern?
Stem to stern.
Stem to stern. Thank you. Stem to stern. It's all Ditko. So you can find his work in a lot of these. Nice work. This one with a Traveler cover. Traveler goes back to the 1950s as a character. Welcome to the show, Ethan Van Elzy. How are you,
hey,
sir?
Buddy. I was just going to tell you, I got about 15 minutes. I got to go get my granddaughter and take her to her band. But I'm here.
Oh, okay. Taking her to her band, which is where at the school.
Yeah. She plays at the high school football game, the band.
Mm, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Save the limbo stuff. Ryan says. Oh, we got to show some of the limbo stuff. Um, yeah, I'm gonna definitely look at some Ditko stuff tonight and be putting together. Although I have in mind, a 2-page spread that I want Ryan to do, and Zigzag's going to be in there, and Zigzag's doppelganger
Zigzag.
is going to be in there.
Well, hello, Sabrina.
She's muted because of the
Okay, she's driving.
of her
Yeah.
car, which is not that loud. We could stand it, but whatever. I mean, save it on your computer. Oh yes, definitely.
Boy, you reminded me yesterday when you pulled out those cards, Rex, that my
Yeah.
buddy Tim gave me a box, whole collection of decks of like X-Men, Batman, Superman, all these superhero, even got one the villains. But look at the old X-Men.
Right. Quit moving it around, and we can. We do have. That's kind of a montage because Colossus is done by John Byrne. The Gray Beast is done by Gil Kane. Wolverine is done by Art Adams. Storm is done by Dave Cockrum. Not really sure about Cyclops or Professor X, but very nice.
Well, like I said, I got 2 decks of these. I got villains. Got all kind of cool stuff, man.
It's cool that they put the Gray Beast on there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
That looks like a Del Keown Hulk.
It might be.
I
It
think
looks
so.
like it could be. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
and look at this. I got a Batman 10 set.
Yeah.
Oh,
look
very
at that.
nice.
Of course, he always had to throw in some Looney Tunes,
Right. Yeah. I
Another
noticed
X-Men.
you had a bunch of card decks. I might even have that card deck with Wolverine on it from back in the day. Those are cool. Still cellophane, never opened.
Even got a Spider-Man
Spider-Man,
pack.
right. From the movies.
Got a Mighty Power Rangers. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying earlier that I didn't realize, but Steve Ditko did some Power Rangers. Did at least an issue. That's kind of like Jack Kirby working on Ninja Turtles.
Right.
You kind of don't expect it. There you go. Speaking of Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
Your psychic
nice.
powers are kicking in.
Very nice.
Man, he gave them all. He basically
Yeah.
gave them to me.
Oh, that's cool with the little eyes and the logo. Check that out, Shadowhawk.
Hey, Jenko. Oh yeah, that's pretty neat. Oh,
That's
cool.
almost like a Nightwing Batman logo.
Yeah. And these, I don't know if these are the same Superman
Jenko.
cards you got,
No.
but they do have covers on them. I checked.
Oh, wow.
Mine, the newer ones do not. They're just done by the Superman. But yeah, it's cool when they incorporate the covers because Batman had some really nice covers. Yeah, that's from the animated series of the early 90s.
M&M.
Oh, M&M's. Look at that. I bet that's an interesting card set. Look at all that Pez in the background on the right there, folks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that. Star Trek Next Generation, full enhanced
Oh, okay.
logo.
Fancy.
Rainbow
logo on there.
Holoful. Oh, that's the one I've got right there.
Yep, that's the one we were just looking at. Yep.
Yep.
Sealed up.
Did you get that recently? Or have you had
No,
that?
I've got 2 decks. He gave me this whole box.
Okay, that didn't answer my question, but thank you anyway.
I've had
Well,
them
he
for
said he
years.
just got the box.
You've
of
had them
cards,
for
Rex,
years,
so
so
get it.
maybe my cards are a reissue then. That's all I wanted to know. Mulan, yeah. That was early 90s, wasn't it? Mid 90s? Look at that werewolf head he's got back there on the left. He's ready. Oop, that's the back.
Tasmanian devil.
Oh, Tasmanian devil. Wow. Is that all donated? I mean, I guess dedicated to him. Oh, I've got one of those. That's Art Adams, Wolverine.
Is that mom?
From years ago. Some of those
Another
are old,
Mulan.
going back to the late 80s or early 90s. Mulan, yeah. Porky Pig, yeah. Look at that, American Gothic.
That's cool.
You're going to make Hex Allen jealous. That's his favorite cartoon character is Porky Pig. Villains? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
That's okay. Wait a minute. That's Jack Kirby, Red Skull. I think that might be Steve Ditko, actually, Green Goblin, and we got Dave Cockrum doing Magneto, and I'm not sure about the Silver Samurai. But cool.
I thought these are pretty cool.
Oh, and Dr. Doom, he kind of gets lost back there. Turn that back around. Let's see Dr. Doom. He's there in the top left-hand corner. He kind of gets lost with that green. Mm-hmm. That's
I'll keep an eye out for it, Harry.
Pretty cool, huh?
I don't know if that was a Ditko Goblin or not. That might have been John Romita Sr. Love Taz drawing him to use my favorite characters to draw. Snoopy.
Snoopy and Woodstock.
Interesting
all the
collection.
time.
I get a Gemini Mailer in post today. Woo! Not sure what comic is need to do unboxing for it. Yeah, is in it. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. Dude just gave them to me.
Oh, absolutely.
We were always trading, but he passed away, man. After I stopped working.
Oh, he did.
There. Yeah.
Oh, was this when you were working at Lowe's after you retired from teaching? Yeah.
Yeah. He was a collector. He had all kinds of cool stuff, and he thought I had really cool stuff, and we didn't collect the same stuff. So,
right,
you know. And there's
watch your clock now. 15 minutes run out real quick.
I didn't show these, but you know that I got some of these in here too.
Mm-hmm. Is that Dick Buckus? Who is that? I forget.
Believe it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Ditko's picks.
Okay. That's there you go. I think Dick Buckus passed away last year?
Yeah. He just gave it. It came in. He says, "Man, I got something for you." Headed out in his truck and goes, "Here, man."
That's cool.
Said, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't remember
that. Sorry, didn't mean to switch back at that moment. That's all right. Embarrassing. All right.
What
so
happened?
We got some Charlton Blue Beetle Ditko for you. Issue 4 here. I like the gray toning of the statue.
I got to go, buddy.
See you.
Later.
Take care. If you can come back later, do so.
Guys. Okay, if I can, I will. I'll hop back in. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
And here's another Blue Beetle, number 3. I think I've actually got this one, maybe. My collection. Blue Beetle goes back to the 40s.
Yeah, I was surprised to find that out. I thought he was kind of new back when I first saw him, like in the 90s. I was like, who's this guy?
Well, the original Blue Beetle, like on this issue here, you see on the right there, the original Blue Beetle costume, the lighter blue. He updated the Blue Beetle character and made it a totally new character. And a lot of people say that there's a lot of big connection between what Ditko was wanting to say and was saying through Blue Beetle, that he wanted to say with Spider-Man. So they've kind of got a special connection. And my own character, Devil Flyer, was standing right next to Blue Beetle on his first cover.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So And I have an original Blue Beetle #6 with a wartime cover, which is pretty neat. One of, pretty sweet conditioned book out there in my safe. Here is a Steve Ditko died at age 90 on July 6, 2018. So he's been gone a while. Here is an illustration done by Ditko of himself. He's co-creator of Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Squirrel Girl in the early 90s, Dr. Octopus, Aunt May, J. Jonah Jameson, Hawk and Dove, Blue Beetle, The Question, and countless others.
Oh wow, I didn't know he was created The Question.
Oh yeah, he created The Question. He was over at Charlton and did Blue Beetle, Question, Mr. A. He did The Traveler. Those are all kind of like Question like characters.
Mm-hmm.
With a Flodora hat. I think I even have one with him. Speaking of Gorgo, which he drew, I just saw this back shot of the Gorgo figure, the second one that they came out with in green.
Yeah.
It's nice, isn't it? It's like an emerald green.
Yeah, I kind of like the original one. It looks more like a movie.
Sleepy Girl. Somebody been keeping you up at night. Ghostly Tales, number 145 from October 1980. Pencils and art by Steve Ditko. And don't think this is a Steve Ditko art cover. But he is in this. And if I looked at it, it could be a Steve Ditko cover. He did a lot of those. Yeah, looking at it, it's probably a Steve Ditko cover. The Smoke Demon.
That's kind of cool looking. I like it.
Old 50 center. I mean, the quality of these Charlton comics was bad, in the 70s and the 80s. Really bad.
Yeah. The
pages were uneven. It was wild. Now, this one I do have. This is a Ghostly Tales 163, October 1983, with Steve Ditko and artwork by Steve Ditko in it. I do have this one in my collection. Just look at the venom-like creature in the water. It's pretty wild, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. That's different.
From out of the depths. And then I don't know if that's a traveler story, but you see the traveler back there at the center of the white on the rock in silhouette.
I had to blow it up right side. Oh yeah, okay. I guess so. Yeah.
The white spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And his signature is really big on this one. Steve Ditko right there on the brown land. But cool cover. Love those. Love Steve Ditko stuff. Didn't catch it yawning that time. I'll be switching back and forth from us to the stuff. This is Dr. Graves, number 62, Charlton, 1977. Original artwork from that issue by Steve Ditko. It's always cool to see original artwork. We lost Sabrina. She'll be back here in a second, I think. This is the original artwork posted by someone. It's always neat to see original art. Whoop, I guess that's the back of it.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. Here's another one. Guy transforming, or I don't know. He's half and half. He's a wild man. Look at that. Almost like a Two-Face character. Ditko Buckus. Yeah, Buckus died in 23. Okay, 2023. Hello. And a book, the Charlton Companion PDF download. I'm going to drop you the link here, and you can actually read some Steve Ditko stuff from the Charlton Companion site. It's going to be a long link. That's what she said. Hey, Justin Belmont in the
Hey, Justin.
house.
Good to see you, buddy.
Hopefully that link works for everyone. Back it on up here. Let's see.
Justin.
And I will show you the cover here. I think this cover is Joe Staten cover. Tomorrow Publications put this out. They put out a lot of nice stuff. But that link, this link right here, should lead you to read this. And it has some Ditko stuff in it. So hopefully that link
Very
will work
cool.
for everyone. We shall see what we shall see. Introducing Captain Adam Ditko at Charlton, 1960. 22 stories of Steve Ditko at a formative time in his career, including the first 8 Captain Adam stories, his first regular superhero assignment. Did not know that. His first regular. It wasn't his first superhero he had ever done, because I've got Captain 3D from like 1953, which was a Kirby, Joe Simon Kirby. But here's a book you can pick up, and if you want the link for that, I can drop that as well. Very nice book. Sabrina picked me up some comics at a nerd comic book spot recently, and I don't know if we got any Ditko stuff, but we got some interesting things, and I mucho appreciato that. I know Omer must be listening, and he always likes it when I say that. So there's the link for that. If you want to pick that book up, hopefully that'll work for you. I do have this Ghostly Hunt. This is Ghostly Hunts number 27. Of course, I might have the later issue because they recycled. Charlton recycled. I can't remember. I might have the old 20 center. That's not too old. Early 70s, early to mid 70s. But this is Ghostly Haunts number 27. You know, in all those, you could always count on at least one story done by Ditko, but here he did the cover. Very cool. I'll never forget what's his name coming up out of the grave. Echoes of the Spirit World. We haven't even got to the good stuff. Here is the first appearance of Vic, aka The Question, one step closer to owning in first print. Let's see, this is 1977 Modern Comics reprint of the 1967 Charlton Comics. Modern Comics was reprinting a lot of the Charlton stuff, and kind of like Whitman, it was considered, trash. Ditko was a genius. I'm drawing a Ditko inspired character now from John's Longbox. Yeah. Private Eye, isn't it? So Marcus, are you not where you can come in and comment and add to the discussion on Steve Ditko? So this would be the first appearance of The Question in a comic book. This is a reprint from the late 70s, as I say, of the 1967 classic Blue Beetle and The Question. And then later, when I was first introduced to Blue Beetle and The Question, it was in Charlton Bullseye in the middle of the 70s, the comic book, not the magazine, because they had a comic book called, a magazine called Charlton Bullseye. Here is another book. This is a Wally Wood cover, but Steve Ditko does have artwork in it. Ghostly Haunts number 35.
Sorry, Rex. I had issues here at the house. I'm going to drop out for a few. I might come back.
Okay. Go up and close and personal then. There we go. And I did finish my cover of Bog recently. Right there it is back there.
Sorry, please forgive me. Once I got on to 69, I had to mute my mic because the road is very loud.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm sorry about that. And I am about 8 minutes away from where I need to be. But yeah, I successfully made it.
Good. You didn't die on the road because there's some jerks out there for sure.
No, but I still, yeah. Ooh, what's that?
Dr. Death. He was kind of like a speaker in comics, the sort of a host, telling tales. The sea holds in its depths many weird and terrorizing tales. I found one in this issue, The Last Voyage of the Sea Witch. I dare you to read it. It's just like a portion of the cover done by Steve
Kind
Ditko.
of like a narrator.
This magazine is Haunted number 16, Charlton, 1954. Features the second ever Steve Ditko cover.
That's cool.
Space
So that's
Adventures
1954.
1954. Just a section of the cover, wasn't the full thing. Space Adventures 24, Steve Ditko, John Severin, 1958. I had to look at this one to see if this is actually Steve Ditko cover or not. If you're still streaming after I eat, I'll jump on. Okay, cool. Yes, the public eye. Looks like a very interesting character, Marcus.
Whoa. Sorry. You're going to hear a noise and I can't stop it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not that loud. Your phone does a good job of, no need to apologize for it.
Well, I'm coming up over a rise and I'm in a college town, a very old college town. And yeah, so I'm coming up over a steep hill rise. And right there it was. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I can't do anything to stop it.
Okay. Captain Adam debuted in Space Adventures number 33. Joe Gill on the inks. There we go. There's the header. Very nice.
Ooh, I like the colors in that.
If you know Steve Ditko's style and positioning and stuff, it's a lot. You can't help but see some Spider-Man, even in this earlier stuff before he did start.
I like the colors in that. That just pops. And the way his name is done at the bottom of what I can see, that is very cool. I like that.
And the thing of it is, you can look at that like my cover back here and kind of tell what it's about. It's very simple. The coloring is very simple. A lot of modern comics are colored way too dark, and way too busy. You can have busyness, but it's all in the coloring. Another one was Unreal. That's a book that features some Steve Ditko artwork, of course. I think kind of like a Beatles riff, Abbey Road riff, maybe for the cover here.
Oh, I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. I've not seen this. So I guess this is like foreign, but doing a comparison here of artwork, the bottom there being Ditko. Sort of the inspiration for another artist. Whoops, what happened there? Whoop. There we go. It's kind of skipped on me there. Let's see if I can go back to this. His hair looks green there, though. Almost like it's plant life. Interesting.
It looks like, yeah, like chemicals or something.
Like the Joker's hair. Joker has green hair. You're joking. No, I'm not.
I am literally not 500 feet from where I need to be.
Okay.
And I can't get through because I don't know what's going on and I can't see, but I'm getting annoyed.
Okay.
Yes. Stop and go, stop and go. I'm literally 500 feet from my turn. And I
Oh,
don't.
I thought you were almost there to destination. I should have
I
known that you were
am.
further out than.
But they have this stupid crosswalk here, and you have to
Hey,
stop
Cricket Painter.
people crossing on this crosswalk because it's very busy. And sometimes the people will hold up the traffic because they'll stop in the middle of it. Even though they have the right of way, they get scared, I think. And some people have ran the crosswalk.
Yeah, I mean, we've got jaywalkers all over the place. There was one last night that was like, "What are you doing? You know, do you want to die?"
Now, I'm not going to show a picture because I know if I show just one picture, like if I turn my camera around, there's something very iconic in the background, and immediately people will know where I'm at. And yeah,
Right.
very iconic for the area.
You never turn on your flashlight on your. Have you ever had IBC black cherry?
Yes, I have.
You
I
have?
put it.
Okay. And she kicked herself. Anyway, back to Blue Beetle. Sabrina is much lovelier than Spaz. It suits you.
Sorry.
Crooked Painter says Sabrina is much lovelier than Spaz. It suits you.
Oh, thank you. But I preferred Spaz because it was easy to remember.
Yeah. Blue Beetle is one of the oldest superheroes from summer of 1939. A very noir, you know, much like the Spider, like You Picked Me Up a Spider comic,
Yeah.
or The Shadow, or Lee Fox, the Phantom,
hmm
or Doc Savage, the old pulp. Blue Beetle is more of the adventuresome type looking swashbuckler type character, I think, sort of knight in shining armor. He was created by Charles Nicholas Wojcicki for Fox Comics, then Charlton Comics and DC Comics in 1983. The original was Dan Garrett, then Todd Cord, created by Steve Ditko in 1966, and then Jamie Reyes from 2006. So he's been through
Sorry.
quite the transformation, but starting out in Fox Comics. Blue Beetle's been around since 1939, which is very interesting.
1939.
1939, yeah. And here's
Wow.
his original costume. You can see almost like a knight in shining armor type outfit.
Yeah. Hold on. I had to sit you down.
64 pages in full color. Number 2 here.
Can I?
Very nice. Look at the colors on that. You can back that away 30 feet and know what's going on. Very easily read. I wish we would go back to this, and Momentum will go back to some simplified covers like this. Probably going to do a golden age type cover for every book that I put out. We did it on this campaign with John Philande's original cover, and this is pretty cool. I think his aim's a little off there. Don't think he's even going to hit that guy's hand that's got the Tommy gun. Nice wartime plane in the background. That's issue 3.
I will. Hold on. I'm so sorry, but that is very cool. I'm going to have to get off of here because I have to be inside and they're going to kill me because I'm late. But
Okay.
I will show you something, but it's not hold on. I got to get out of my car to do this. Okay. But I will show you something, but I'll try not to get a lot of it in the photo. Okay. So hold on. Oops. Okay. So that's what I look at a lot when I pull into where I'm at. This beautifulness right here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Some
And
drug haze use. Okay.
it's not really drug hazed. I think it's beautiful. But oh my,
Well, okay. Look at that face. She's stoned out her gourd. What are you talking about?
she isn't stoned.
Take a harder look at it. Um,
I
Stunning
I know.
art, Carrie says. Graffiti.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
She's a pain in the ass. Crooked Painter says, you better pick that up before I do, Rex.
What?
Speaking of you, you're a pain in
I'm
the
not a
ass,
pain in the ass.
but I better pick you up before Crooked Painter does.
Well, could Crooked Painter buy me a real fur coat?
I don't know. You'll have to ask.
Shh. I don't think I'm a pain in the ass. I don't try to be. But I am
Are you going
here.
to show us? Are you going to show us something?
No. Oh, I thought I turned my camera back. I'm sorry. No, what am I going to show you?
I didn't know. I
Walking
guess it
into.
was the graffiti. Okay, so back to Steve
Yeah.
Ditko. I think.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
And I will see you later, honey. I got to get
Okay.
in here. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right. So here we go. Tonight I'll Dream of You, written by Joe Gill, who was writer, I believe. I don't know if Joe inked any or not. I can't remember. Illustrated by Steve Ditko. Ditko at Charlton, 1973. Very nice. Very nice cover. While Alan Moore obviously wrote Watchmen as a criticism against objectivism popularized by Steve Ditko using Pechet's of Charlton comic heroes. Ultimately, I say the story is about humanity. Dr. Manhattan is a man detached from humanity who ultimately finds his humanity again. I would agree with that. There's some of the things that Steve Ditko worked on, some of the Charlton characters. And Dick Giorgiano was look at this piece. Look at that. It's just beautiful. This is why people would look at his work and go, is he on drugs? She didn't earn a real fur coat. No, it was a fake coat. It was fake, but somebody gave her a faux fur coat. So very nice. But yeah, he's known for this limbo. Bum 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 bum. You know, just his imagination within Doctor Strange, which he co-created with Stan Lee. What a scene. Charlton Bullseye, back in December 28th, a day after the anniversary of this show, of this channel. As a matter of fact, the Charlton Bullseye #1, December 1974. Jeff Jones, Ben Oda, John Byrne, Roger Stern, Steve Ditko, Barb Weaver, and Joe Staten, covered by Al Milgrom on this. I do not have these, but I know somebody that has some of them, and I would like to get them. Charlton Bullseye magazine. This came out prior to the comic that was Charlton Bullseye. And that's where I was first introduced to Blue Beetle and the Question for the very first time in issue 1 of that. It was like an anthology. The next one, I was like, it was like cartoon characters like Mighty Mouse or something like that, right? And then it went on to something else. It had like a horror issue. It had like a future barbarian issue. It had it had the character. Too bad Sabrina had to leave because she actually got me some of the Time Warp ones. Thunder Bunny. Thunder Bunny was the only character that was in the Charlton Bullseye twice in issue 6, making his first appearance and the only appearance of the blue and the dark blue and the light blue costume. And then he would change to a red costume, red and yellow, I think, in issue 9, and that's his first appearance. So that made only 2 appearances in that, but he's the only reoccurring character. Very interesting story. Kid comes upon this UFO, goes in, and it's like the aliens are sort of like more animalistic. So he puts his hands on the control where like it's got like 3-finger control thing, there, puts it on there, and it gives him the power to become Thunder Bunny when he claps his hand together. Clap on, clap off, instead of saying Shazam. Very reminiscent of the original Captain Marvel or Shazam character. But so Thunder Bunny made 2 appearances. Like I say, the only one to have a reoccurring issue within the Charlton um, uh, run, Charlton Bullseye comic run. Didn't run for that many issues. Had a all woman superhero team, which was really a neat issue called Vanguard. Um, So both times that Thunder Bunny made his appearance in issue 6 and 9, he had a different costume. It's their first appearance of the costumes. Once the blue in his first appearance, once in his red. Tank Ferret in the house. Hell. Damn it, I should have asked what she would wear with the fur coat. Hopefully on another stream, maybe. But Charlton Bullseye was a wonderful magazine, and there were only a few of those come out. Probably low distribution, probably mail order with that. The Charlton comic was on the newsstands. That's where I first saw it, and like I said, that's when I first saw Captain Atom in his original costume. This is a graded 5.5 Steve Ditko cover from 1957. Out of this world. I do have one, and these things are expensive to buy. What year did I say that was? 57. So that would be an early Silver Age book. 1957. All these, and he also did Space Wars. That's really cool. It's original Captain Atom there. More colorful costume than his original. I think this was the redo. Don't know if this works for me. I mean, it's interesting. Atomic powers. Blue Beetle. And he sort of redesigned a new Blue Beetle. First appearance of first question here. He did have a face under that. He just had sort of like a blank makeup that he would stick on. Here's a page from Beyond the Grave, done by him. Very simple colors, but I long for these days of just this color sensibility. Here is a Conga book. They do have these things archived now, the Conga and the Gorgo and things like that. I can't say that I have any of those. In fact, I used this particular cover for my next thumbnail for next week when we talk about Ditko further. Here's the original. As big as King Kong. An American International Picture. Now, I know I have Gorgo, but I don't know that I have Gorgo or Conga, rather. I think I've got Conga. I've got Conga movie. The Blue Beetle cover here. think we showed this one earlier. This is not a Ditko cover, but he had Ditko story in that. He did do some Western stories. Cover by Dick Garagano and Vance Alessia. I don't know him. Monster Hunters, 1965. Monster Hunters 2. Story by Tom Sutton includes Steve Ditko's story by Tom Sutton. And then also it looks like original Ditko artwork as well in that issue. I have all the Monster Hunters. They're very cool. Mike Zeck actually did a couple covers of Monster Hunters. Hey, Marcus, I'm still going if you want to come in here and talk about Ditko. Charlton tried to make a comeback a few years back. How do they do that if DC bought them up, or is it just I would assume they would have bought the name of Charlton where nobody could use it? And then what's Charlton going to come back with? Maybe, I mean, I would have thought that DC would have had their whole catalog of characters. Fish Fry. That's definitely Ditko artwork. Out of This World. Love this from 1957. Interiors by Steve Ditko with Joe Gill doing the stories. Look at that. Look at that surrealistic quality to that. Just a wonderful, fantastic cover. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Rex, how you doing?
Good, brother. We're just taking a look at some wonderful Steve Ditko.
You know, by the time I was really reading comics, Steve Ditko was kind of out of favor, or
Yeah.
he no longer favored the comic industry.
I finished my Bog cover.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And now on to doing interiors. But before I do that, I'll probably start doing that along with doing a glitch cover for Omer. And then there's also the Dr. Mass contest that I would like to do something. So I need to get on that real quick. The Extreme Form.
There we go.
Hey, Marcus.
Oh.
Whoops. The briefest appearance on the 4 o'clock shadow, folks.
Yeah, that was quick.
Yeah, he was out of favor, really. I mean, underappreciated by me anyway. But now when you turn in work like this, that's wonderful. You know?
Yeah.
The more I find out about Ditko, Mark, it's like the more I appreciate what he did.
Absolutely. Yeah. They
Now,
definitely.
what the hell's going on? Is it hard times, Mark? Your spinner rack is empty.
Actually, the way I set up my camera, you can only see the empty one.
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know what happened. Maybe
Okay. I see that now. You got one full and one empty.
Yeah, I still haven't done
and what's
anything
great about
with
it is you got the header on it, on both of them.
Yes. Yeah, they were a pair at a Junior Food Mart convenience store.
I remember Junior Food Mart. I hadn't thought about it in a long time, but yeah. And in fact, I think there's a Junior Food Mart in the other town over. Still.
Oh, I'm amazed they're still around.
Or maybe I'm thinking of IGA grocery store. I don't know if you know IGA, but
I don't know IGA, but
but we have Junior Food Mart around here, but I don't think it was the same thing. More of an early convenience store, really.
Yeah, this would have been back in the 80s.
So here is another volume, The Thing, that he did for Charlton, 1952 through 54. The Thing features some of the earliest work of Steve Ditko, including his first cover. And those
We're
are
not seeing
prized by, huh?
Okay, there we are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got to wait on my computer to pull it up.
Yeah, this was what year was this? So
This is the title, The Thing for Charlton was early 50s.
I was going to say it had to be before the comics go.
if you look at it, it goes early 50s work. It's very influenced by Joe Kubert.
Yeah.
He was very much
definitely.
influenced by Joe Kubert and Will Eisner.
And would you think that Wally Wood was a big influence, or would that come later?
No, Wally Wood was an influence as well, but they were a little more contemporaries.
Yeah, I was going to say what was Steve Ditko's age compared to those other guys? Because like Ditko didn't do anything in the golden age, right?
No. But
I think he was younger than Joe Kubert.
Joe Kubert worked for Will Eisner when he was 13 years old. He colored those spirits, a lot of those spirits.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they recently gave him a credit for it. Joe Rosen used to letter him, and Sam Rosen used to letter him. Mm-hmm. And so I think Kubert and Ditko are probably similar age.
Yeah, so Steve Ditko was born in 1927.
I know,
and Joe Kubert was born in 1926, so there was only 1 year between them.
Right, but Kubert was already doing work since he was 13.
And that's prior to his first work on Volton, right?
Yeah. He didn't do any drawing. He did a lot of racing. He was an assistant.
Yeah. A lot of people kind of got into the business like that
back then. Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Jack Kirby worked for Will Eisner as well.
Yeah, so Kirby was born in 17, so he was 10 years older than those guys.
I've never seen this Blue Beetle cover, but what an awesome cover.
My Pinterest, I have all these covers. I've been working on that story, and all I've been doing is studying Ditko because it's really a Ditko character that we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So basically, I'm trying to be as Steve Ditko as I can, and I'm drawing a lot of overcoats,
That Blue Beetle costume was great.
I'm told that Dick Giordano, who was over, the Charlton Hero line, he didn't much like the Hero line at Charlton, and then of course he left to work at DC Comics, and Jim Aparo was over there and took Jim Aparo with him. Peacemaker here on this piece. Of course, Peacemaker's in his second season on TV.
He took Giordano took Ditko over to DC. That's about when he made the Creeper and Hawk and Dove, and he took Denny O'Neil over.
Yeah.
And everybody he could take, he took. Don Newton, eventually Don Newton.
Don Newton, my favorite Batman artist.
He did so much work for Charlton. Yeah. I'm posting these. He did 415 romance covers for Charlton.
Wow.
I have them all saved. I don't know if I'm going to get. I'm going to get tired of typing Dick Giordano, so I'm going to have to.
Do you remember? Do you remember when Charlton when they were actually bought out by? Because there was some AC Comics that came out with the question.
That was right before. I think they were bought out in about 86. Right before Crisis. Like either that or like 84, 83, something like that. I never got a lot of Charlton comics.
Because Alan Moore was wanting to use those characters, and they were like, no, we don't think we want you to kill off the question.
Yeah, he wanted to just use them. Yeah. And Dick Giordano said, well, wait a minute, let's not immediately
is a character of Ditko's. This is 1986, so this must be one of the last Charlton comics they came out with.
Probably. I'm kind of amazed that Charlton was around that long. I remember seeing him in the late 70s on the news.
They were around since the 1940s, Mark. They came out in the 1940s.
Yeah, I knew they'd been around for a long time, but I didn't know that they stuck around in 1986. I remember seeing them in the 70s when I'd go to the comic rack, but I rarely bought one.
Charlton was money laundering for the mob. in Derby, Connecticut. And the reason why Charlton became, they were doing magazines and all, but to make money there, they needed to have that printer running all year long. So what is the cheapest thing they could make? It was comics. They paid nobody. They do typeset comics. The covers would be the cover of the splash page of the story, but they let you do whatever you want, and that's why Steve Ditko liked them. They didn't get any bothering, no Stan Lee bothering them. Even though it took way less pay, it did so much work for them.
Am I wrong? I think the only Charltons I bought were like things like Beetle Bailey and Popeye. I remember
they did all that. They had a lot in the 70s and 80s. They had a lot of they would have $6 Million Man. You know, stuff that's those things that Marvel and DC didn't want those. And they didn't want any licenses until Star Wars hit really big. And then they're like, okay, we're going to license everything we possibly can.
I wonder if they got those because Dell stopped publishing.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I don't know the stories behind, but I do remember the few that I picked up were things like Sergeant Snorkel and Popeye and that kind of thing. I was a kid when I was getting those, so I don't recall ever seeing Peacemaker or even Blue Beetle for that matter. I remember when they brought Blue Beetle into the DC comics, but I don't remember him from Charlton.
He did a lot of these Charlton horror. That's probably where he really shone in his artwork, was in the Charlton horror series, Scary Tales and others like it. Wonderful covers. He just took and just reimagined. Here's some that I actually have in my collection. This is pretty neat. The coloring on that.
I know he was still around for the original Spider-Man movies that they were doing, but I don't know how. I don't remember when it was that he died, but I wonder if he saw any of the MCU movies. I'm sure he didn't watch them, but 2018, so I think 2010 was Iron Man, so he was around for.
He was around, yeah, but it's probably a bitter pill for him, you know.
Oh, I'm sure. Although I got to think that they probably did something for him.
Yeah. Well, they put him in the credits, and they must have. They probably gave him some kind of stipend, don't you think, Marcus? A little bit, maybe, for the movie.
I think they would.
You're muted, Marcus. You're muted.
I used my my pencil sharpener. You don't have to hear that.
Okay. 1954 cover here. Very cool.
That stuff he wouldn't do later in his life. You know, he wouldn't do anything with supernatural in it later in his life. Like as he got more objectivism, he stopped really doing all this, and he was bringing Spider-Man to that level of like objectivism. If you read the last few,
and monsters were popular in the early 60s. You know, the sci-fi stuff in the 50s, but especially in the movies, the atomic age, but of comics. But you know, like Groot and Zax and all those characters that they created, late Atlas, early Marvel. And often I loved when he inked Jack Kirby. I think he was.
Oh yeah, he was a great Kirby inker.
Yeah, he just added something to Kirby, you know.
He inked Kirby. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's sad after that horror, phase of late Atlas went out, that they didn't do much after that, you know. Fantastic Four number 13, one of the issues that he actually inked Kirby.
He didn't ink the superhero line for Kirby for a long time, and Stan really liked Ditko's inks on Kirby too, but they needed Ditko to pencil. You know, Stan. I think Stan liked Ditko more than Kirby. Like he could see that everyman look more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, Spider-Man hit the ground running. It didn't have to develop, you know. It was great from the start. It wasn't had any weak issues really.
I mean, just look at the jam-packed imagery in these panels. Look at that. There's not one wasted space. It's cramming in so much.
Yeah.
So I mean, he definitely gave you your money's worth on this story, you know, to, you know, feast your eyes on and look at.
Did you guys ever see that? It was some British guy who came over and tried to do an interview with Ditko, and
Yes.
almost like a little
Neil
documentary
Gaiman.
where you were.
Neil
No, it
Gaiman
wasn't
and
Neil
somebody
Gaiman.
else.
It was some.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it was
they.
some,
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that guy. He's like searching for. It was called Search for.
Yeah.
Steve
Yeah.
or something.
It was like a.
Yeah, I saw some of that. Yeah,
like
yeah.
And they cornered Stan and tried to get Stan to agree that Steve Ditko had co-created Spider-Man, and Stan would not say it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I've been looking at a lot of the Doctor Strange stuff. I mean, it's brilliant stuff. Like, they must have thought he was on drugs, like you were saying, Rex.
Yeah.
This is my Rex debut, I think.
I think this is your Rex debut.
I've been on with other streams with you, but it was other people's shows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited by this. I feel like Homer Glitch.
I know, right?
I don't know if that's a good thing.
This is the first appearance of Hawk and Dove. That's two characters
Hawk and
that
Dove,
he created for DC.
Yeah.
I can't believe how short those books are. So good. They look so good, you know, writing wise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of like Ditko. Really, you could tell he really liked Hank better than the other one. I mean, the other one. Really,
Well, he was doing
like he really looked bad.
He was
But he
doing
did
Captain Action at the time. Or was he doing Captain Action?
Wally
I'm
Wood was
thinking
doing Captain Action. Gil Kane.
I was thinking Gil Kane. Okay.
But that
Well, he was doing Hawk and Dove. He did Creeper.
Creeper. But he got sick, you know. He got sick with tuberculosis then.
Oh, he did.
See, people don't really talk about that, but I have a bunch of books of Stranger Worlds of Steve Ditko, and they talk about how sick he got. And so he was out of comics for a couple of years, and that's one of the reasons why those books got canceled, because he wasn't doing it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought they were like short-lived books, like Anthro.
Well, they probably
or
it's a
Brother
little
Geek.
bit of both, though.
Yeah. I think Hawk and
Yeah.
Dove was probably destined to be a short. That was kind of topical, but Creeper and stuff could have gone on.
And they kind of rode those characters into the Teen Titans.
Oh yeah, they did. But the Teen Titans
Look at
got canceled too. That was no great shakes. Like what we think are great big DC books, but we remember from the redoing from the 80s, like the Teen Titans. Teen Titans was always on the edge. It wasn't really that popular a comic. And Nick Cardy is, you know, all these books, Hawkman, all those books are like always being canceled. Like these didn't even reach 100. Hawkman, Green Lantern, all those books.
Yeah, I really remember Green Lantern getting canceled and then coming back. But I remember it was The Brave and the Bold, I think, that I saw Hawk and Dove in the first time. It was in the 80s. And then, of course, they brought it back with, wasn't that Rob Liefeld's like first big deal? Was
that's right. Yeah, with
was
Carl
the
Kiesel.
reboot. Yeah. Which was actually a good book. I remember reading it at the time. And I think, if I remember, the story I've heard is that he decided to do like, there was some otherworldly thing and he decided to do the pages sideways. And the editor blew up at him and he ended up quitting the book over it. Or got fired. I don't remember which way it was.
Yeah, I think that's it. Carl Kiesel had to do a lot of heavy lifting on that comic. They always say, "Oh, look, he's doing backgrounds." I'm not so sure it wasn't the inker.
Yeah.
I can't. I should not talk about Rob Liefeld because I saved my Rob Liefeld for tomorrow night, and I make fun of him on the studio, so all the guys can get mad at me.
There's the creeper.
Where the creeper?
Those are great comics. I mean, but that's a see. You showed that before. That's a Ditko trope to have eyes all floating around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did it several times. Later, he would do Shade the Changing Man, and also one reference that I didn't have was that sort of barbarian book that he did in the mid 70s. What was the title of that one? It was the first comic Russ Leach ever picked up, actually.
That's a Stalker.
Stalker, yeah.
Yeah, that was inked by Wood. It wasn't Wood at his top of the game. Neither were guys, but it was still really cool.
Mm. Well, I mean, they're still using these characters that I assume Shade the Changing Man was and Stalker both were Kirby creations, right?
I think they were Ditko creations.
Yeah.
Or I mean,
the circles on them look like Kirby, but yeah.
Now, 1966, one of my favorite comics in my collection. I love the logo, love a Steve Ditko special, 64 pages, where he puts an ink head on his shoulders there.
Neat bottle.
Yeah, a big bottle of ink. Yeah. Just wonderful. It's got Gorgo and Conga in it and others. It's just a neat issue, you know.
So I never saw these comics, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these were
Conga. I see them now, but when I was a kid, I didn't see a lot of Charlton comics.
That's before we were born, Marcus.
I always liked Ditko and Kirby. Even when I was a kid, Marvel reprinted these comics so much. You know, Marvel Tales and stuff that I felt like they were just extra comics for me to buy. I always loved those books. I know kids didn't like them that much, but you know.
Well, you know, if you sit somebody down with a pile of these or even reprints of these, people would be, you know, kids would love them. Kids would love them.
Well, to that, like I have, like you have, I had all my comics, and I had a lot of Spider-Man comics, and with reprints, they all go back with them, back to one. And so I had my son read all the Spider-Man comics, so I asked him, like the 150 or 200 Spider-Man, you know, I asked him which Spider-Man comics did you like best, and he said the Ditko ones, the early ones, you know. And he was what, 12 when I asked him? So you're right.
Intelligent. Yeah, I've got a nice Steve Ditko signed one of his comics. Well, that's a prize in my collection.
After a letter appeared in Amazing Spider-Man #5 criticizing the way Steve Ditko drew feet, he drew himself into a panel in issue 22, concealed by a column, of course.
See, I'm looking at Steve Ditko in a few lines. He drew everything correctly. The storytelling, the stuff when you're an artist, what you do is really subtle, and what people think is cool, that's not even the point. That's not where it's really telling the story. And Ditko did all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, he had a real design flair to his stuff.
I mean, you know, all those guys drew like suits and clothes so well. Now the guys, nobody draws any clothes. I'm drawing suits and clothes and a girl in a dress, and I feel like I'm the only one.
I can't even get Rob Liefeld to draw feet.
Oh yeah, well, if you tell Rob Liefeld to draw feet, he'll block you.
Yeah. Now this was neat. These are Muddle's sort of cutout sculpture, I guess, on 10. Martin Dallard based artwork based on Steve Ditko. Check these out, guys. I want some of these in my collection. That is so cool.
Oh wow!
So they're
That's
like
really
2D.
Oh, yeah.
They're like 3D
cutouts.
cut out. Yeah, 2D sort flattened. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah,
Based
that's
on
neat.
Ditko's work. Look at that.
Wow.
Wow! Look at that.
And there's the back
Yeah,
of the figure.
that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Just look at the coloring of it. That's what really sells it, you know, and gives it depth.
Yeah.
Like those steps and everything, the shadow on the steps. That's so cool.
I wonder if he's doing like you could do those steps dimensional and just have the figures 2D. It's a neat look. I've always thought those shadow box covers are pretty cool.
This is an article of Steve Ditko in the Johnstown Tribune, circa 1950. After graduating from the Johnstown Veteran Trade School, he enrolled in the Cartoonist and Illustrator School in New York, where he studied under Jerry Robertson, who's a big Batman person.
That's currently called the School of Visual Arts. It started by Bern Hogarth and Silas Rhodes. I know that because I went there.
Very early, Steve.
You do not have Jerry. I'm not old enough to have Jerry Robinson, however.
Yeah.
I had Will Eisner, though.
Wow.
Give me your info on this one, Rex.
Oh yeah, that's this.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah. Well, I mean, he did a lot of early independent books in the 70s. So when you're talking about independent, you know, art that was mainly distributed through mail order, you got to put in Steve Ditko.
Yeah, that's
was that a wraparound cover? It looks
probably
like,
that's a wraparound cover. Yeah.
Well, let's look and see.
Yeah, let's thumb it all to where it'll be. Welcome back, Elsie.
Where it'll be priceless. It'll have my DNA. Hello, Carrie. Have my DNA on it. Oh,
I'm so close to kicking him. You just don't know, folks.
A Ditko signature and LZ DNA.
Oh, there you go.
Probably his too.
Here's a lesser known character by Ditko.
1972.
He's not afraid to use his imagination.
He was always in all the independent books. He was the first creator to go to Comic-Con.
Oh, it was a wraparound cover.
Yeah.
Ditko was very
both sides.
In 64 and 65. He used to send sketches to fans all the time.
Wow. The back cover is actually more interesting than the front cover, but that's cool.
Yeah.
And he would 1960. There's a book about the first cons in New York City in 1964. Ditko used to go. He'd be like the only guy to go. He had big following among the fans. And then he was Steve Ditko, so something got him kind of annoyed. And he was never mean to anybody, and he just stopped. You know, he stopped going. You know,
oh, he just
because he's Ditko.
Yeah.
Nobody even knew why. Like he just left Marvel and he dropped off his stuff, and that was it.
Yeah, here is a posting by you.
That he hadn't talked to Stan in like 2 months or something like that.
Oh, he didn't talk to Stan in like 2 years.
Yeah.
He just plotted books and Stan. They did have dispute over Green Goblin, but that's not why he quit. Why these guys quit?
They were being robbed.
Is really Martin Goodman more than Let's see. Turn off this light. You might be able to see it better. There we go.
So this is the private eye page you're working on right now.
Public eye, yeah. It's a 2-page story. It's silent. I can't say much about it because the second page, particularly spoilers.
No dialogue.
I already drew it on blue, and I'm light boxing it onto the Bristol.
Okay.
And you're saying no dialogue on these pages. Just
apparently no.
Yeah. Now, would you, if there was dialogue, are you lettering those pages as well?
I wouldn't letter them. John
Okay.
uses Bill Williams.
Okay.
Punchline. He does
Mhm.
Punchline. Bill Williams, he's a great letterer. The Punchline books are really nice, but Bill Williams, where's my music eraser?
Well,
It's great.
Marcus, while doing my due diligence, and we are, for you latecomers coming in here, we are going to talk about Steve Ditko again next week. And Marcus and Mark and Elsie, I hope you can
If I
join
get
us
home,
again
I will
next
be
week
happy.
to talk about Steve Ditko.
Oh, there is. If I get home from work in time, I'm always driving places, but today was an early day. I will join.
Okay. Because this next posting is actually from you, Marcus. This is
yeah. I did that.
You want to tell us about this? RT Bear?
So this was in the book I have. I don't know if I posted what book it is. It's like a biography of Steve Ditko, and that's RT Bear inking Steve Ditko. Steve Ditko worked for DC in the 90s.
So did he actually, for a published story, get to ink Ditko?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I can get the book. I'll go get the book.
Oh, I'd love to know what issue that is. Hell yeah.
No, I'll figure it out. Usually I post the issue, but I don't remember if I did. Okay. Art did a terrific job inking them. That is about as tight as Steve Ditko penciled. I know that when he was at Valiant, they wanted Joe Sinnott to ink him, and he says, I can't ink him anymore. It's too loose for me. It was just like stick figures. Because Jim Shooter always brought him back.
Yeah.
He loved Ditko. I'll be back in a second. I'll find it.
Hey Rex, who did the work on 44? The Amazing Spider-Man.
That's probably by 44. That's John Romita Sr.
John Romita, okay.
I've actually got a production piece to that cover. A reprint of it.
John Romita signed the splash page. Yeah.
Who signed it?
John Romita.
Oh, very cool.
Signed it on the splash page. You wouldn't put it on the cover.
I Am the Living Ghost, 1975. Very cool panel here. Whoops. Whoa. Wait a minute. I saw that, Mark.
I gotta show it after all this time. It's real. This is the box set. The complete style trick. You got the Blu-ray that has all three movies. And each of the DVDs, which are based on the old VHS tapes that they used to have of Star Trek.
Now these are new pressings. This is not stuff you had left over, right? From the previous.
Right. Yeah. This is new. I have new extras. This box set.
Oh, new extras on these. Okay. From the original.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so they came out great, and I actually just printed the 50th and last of the 3D boxes. I've had all kinds of troubles with that, but finally got that. So getting them put together, and
that's amazing.
And and I love this idea. I put in a little notch there that goes back so that the DVD, the Blu-ray is up at the same level as the DVDs.
Yeah, that's right. Because I mean, you had an original box design, and then you kind of had to redo the whole box design.
Yeah. The original box was designed just for the 3 DVDs, but the DVDs that I used to measure to make it were smaller than the ones that I don't know if it was just I think there were some old Star Wars DVDs and they fit in there, but then the other thing too is when I did it, I didn't put this notch on the sides because you need that to be able to pull them out.
I think that's brilliant, man.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be cool if he had one more notch and he had a comic book slipped in there like the same size as the DVD? A little informative book about what you're doing. Hey,
that
would be awesome.
That would be cool. I am doing a photo comic that goes along with the second campaign. So I still have to finish that. That's the one thing that isn't finished. I've got the Viewmaster. I've got all the DVDs and Blu-rays. I just need to finish that comic, but I'm in the process now of getting ready to start shipping them out. And October 20th is when the Doomsday Machine will be up.
Okay.
So this is Action Comics number 642.
And I imagine that was Action Comics Weekly, right?
Yeah,
that's probably what it was. Yeah.
And this is the book that I have, The World of Steve Ditko. And then I have the Doctor Strange Omnibus. And then
nice.
I got the Marvel Vision. My sister gets me all these books for Christmas, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I even have another book that I can't get out. That's like at the John Buscema IDW and Steve Ditko, where they had like French or Spanish museum shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot. I
really enjoyed.
I don't even realize I had so much.
I really enjoyed the early '90s Topps comics. In retrospective, you know, I got a bunch of those when I bought out that comic shop in '97, and I'd gotten some of that stuff anyway. But why I really enjoy that is like Rob Liefeld got to ink Jack Kirby.
Right.
Todd McFarlane and even Jim Lee got to ink them. And that's cool that R.T. Bear got to ink Steve Ditko. You know, I just think it's cool if you can ever just have one project to work on with one of those great, you know, creators.
Yeah, I really think so too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so like that's where like that book, those are basic biographies of Ditko, and I don't even remember if I read them all. I mean, the print is so small, and who has time? But you know.
Yeah, and one thing about the Green Goblin at that time, he kind of put him on almost like a broomstick type design.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Machine.
So the other thing that I had, there's another reason why I love Ditko and Kirby. I have. That's why I just showed that.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm just saying this is a sealed one. I haven't even opened it.
Oh, I read mine. I'm using it for reference, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean you can. Yeah.
There's that other book. That Fireside Publishing in the 70s or 1980 put out, of the reprinting all those Hulks that Steve Ditko did. In Tales to Astonish, like the madder Hulk gets, the stronger Hulk gets. That's all Ditko. The Hulk getting mad when he gets.
Oh angry, yeah. Astonishing number 60, issue 60.
Those are and in Iron Man's orange, Iron Man's costume suit Ditko. Corner box Ditko.
Yeah, that's why I call it the Ditko box. See, I loved how he did the Fantastic Four. Like on this page, I just like Ditko. I like Kirby's I like his. That's why I like Fantastic Four number 13. You still got Kirby, but you got Ditko inks over it, and that was the only time, except for it, the cover to 14, that he Jack Kirby on Fantastic Four.
Spider-Man 1. That you were showing Spider-Man 1. Kirby penciled
Spider-Man 1. This is actually the reprint from Marvel Tales. Right, but I actually have this.
That's Kirby penciled that cover.
Kirby penciled the cover with Ditko inks over it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think for years anybody remembered that, and now it's only been recently.
Yeah, you can kind of tell by the posturing of it and the way it's done, even with Ditko's inks over it. You know, there's a difference in probably how Ditko would approach this cover. But now I actually have a production piece from 1969 out of Brazil in Portuguese of this cover of Spider-Man number 1. I still have that in my collection.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah. That's really cool, man, I think.
Here is Steve Ditko with one of those great fedora hats on. I think we need a society where men wear hats again, Marcus.
Oh, I don't. I used to wear a hat like that when I was in college. Indiana Jones hat, official Indiana Jones hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't wear hats. Baseball caps backwards is what we wear now.
Well, just beautiful composition on everything he does.
Deep Ruby.
A lot of people have said that, his early Spider-Man stuff on that 9-grid panel, was almost claustrophobic.
Well, I've been looking at some of his. He put so much in a 9-grid panel. There was depth in every panel, and there was so much in. And now the guys all want to draw a big character. The 6-grid and 9-grid, and what was most important was in the panel, not necessarily the super page excitement, right? I think about a lot of this stuff.
This cover here is kind of reminiscent of Daredevil #1 with the yellow claw looming over. I'm kind of reminded of that cover.
He worked a lot on Daredevil #1. Ditko did a lot of backgrounds for Everett. Everett was really late with that. They late books.
I think Everett was really hitting the bottle around that time, wasn't he?
Yep,
pretty heavily.
And then Ditko was also influenced by Everett. Everett's like the forgotten superstar of the early comics.
Yeah, and I love Everett's inking and stuff. I
Oh yeah, I do too. I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
Bill Everett.
These guys could draw anything. It wasn't just it's Submariner.
And Ditko's work was in some of the big Treasury editions. Here's one.
I had that one. I remember that one.
Yeah. And look at that panel. Look at that.
Those were so. I had that book, and those pictures are so big on that Treasury panel.
Yeah,
it's glorious, right?
They could be like posters.
Those were made for learning disabled students. I used them in teaching. I taught public school. I taught special ed towards the end. I had an art certification. I taught it most of my career. But at the end, you want to get their interest, show them something big.
Right.
Big wording too. The lettering was larger on those things.
Yeah, and they could climb into it.
I was looking to see. I had that Tomorrow's book of the TV comics. This one's the one for movies, which is sadly kind of not interesting. But there's a splash page by Ditko here for Conga.
Wow! Yeah.
I was surprised at how many movie adaptations Alex Toth did.
Oh yeah, is Gorgo in that? Because I bet you that's Ditko. If they put Gorgo in there, about 1962.
Yes,
or the British Godzilla. Yeah, there you go. That's the cover I showed. Ditko. Yeah, Ditko inside. Yeah. That's nice. That's a nice book. This is actually the painted color guide from 1966, Spider-Man #36. That was how many issues? How many issues did Ditko do?
38.
Marcus, do you know?
38, I think.
38. Okay, so almost 40. The first 40 issues. 38. I did not.
He left, and then 39 is this famous first issue of John Romita doing it with the Green Goblin, famous cover of Green Goblin, figuring out Peter that he's Spider-Man. Peter Parker.
Henry says, I see a lot of Wally Wood in Steve Ditko's art as well, or vice versa, if you prefer. Yeah.
Well, they worked a lot together. The Thunder comics.
I'm going to cover some of that, if not today, next week.
They'll have an influence.
And he inked, and Wood and Ditko as a team were just awesome.
If he didn't put eyeballs over faces like this piece, Marcus, a creeper page.
That's what I have. That's what I wish I was drawing. I like the story is because I like, my job is to make make the writer look good, but it could be more. I wouldn't mind doing some really wacky stuff like that.
As long as you tell the story, here's a house of mystery again with faces.
That's part of making them look good to me is telling the story.
I mean, he really telling like a psychological story here with the characters visually. What's going through his head. People are mocking me. How dare you? I don't know what he's thinking. Didn't quite read that issue, but House of Mystery cover for DC Comics. Here's the Supreme Calculator. This seems like a horrible dream. Interior page. Now, do you know anything about, like in the early 60s, Marcus, his roommate that actually kind of went into like smut comics? This one's
Eric
from
Stanton.
1957.
Yeah, there's rumors that and now it's borne out that Ditko helped Stanton on the soft core. They're really bondage comics. So at that time it's all soft core. It isn't rough like it is now.
Right. And I think it had an effect. I think those years had an effect on him artistically, actually.
And you could tell in these books like that, book like this one. I think I might find them. Let me see if I can find it. Like these books are red, right? Like I try to keep everything nice, and it gets all torn up. But let me see if I can.
Well, that's because you open it all the time.
Well, yeah,
use it. But there's spaces.
Now,
shout out to Javier Hernandez. You Don't Know Ditko, Volume 2 on Indiegogo. This is the cover to Volume 2 here of You Don't Know Ditko. I actually supported You Don't Know Ditko. Volume 1, which is pictured here. I actually have this comic book in my collection. That was a crowdfunder a couple years ago. I highly recommend it. It's cheap. It's affordable. Even if on digital. You Don't Know Ditko over on Indiegogo, creator of so many different Marvel and DC characters and Charlton characters. I mean, he was a creator that actually created stuff.
Did you back his nephew's book? His nephew's comics a little while back?
I don't think that I've seen that.
He was on John's show.
I've heard you talk about it.
And unfortunately, it was with Mort Todd, and Mort Todd just passed away.
Here's the link, everyone. If you want to go back to Javier's book or take a look at that campaign, it needs some love. It's $700 and something in demand over there on Indiegogo. His first one I know's done more money than that. I don't remember what. A little over 1,000. It wasn't a banger, but I had signed items sent with it, card, and I can't even remember what, but very, very nice. And I treasure that book. That was
I'm trying to find his Avenging World in here. 1970.
Hey, Marcus, did Mort Todd do like Beetle Bailey?
No, that's a different guy.
Yeah.
Different. He's not.
Mort Todd did Crack, didn't he?
Yeah. But he was very close to Ditko.
I get people mixed up, man, sometimes.
I'm trying to see if I can find this Eric Stanton. It's in one of these books.
Elsie, you're thinking Mort Walker.
Okay, you're right.
I wanted to. I have a big fedora on him, but I wanted him to have the pork pie hat Mr. A has instead. The fedora to me is kind of played, but we decided on the fedora. I don't know if I can find it.
Another early Charlton by Steve Ditko.
Jesus, this is so good.
Look at the coloring on that.
This isn't Ditko, but look at this 1964 adaptation of The Mummy. That's Wallywood Inks.
Wow.
Look at that, yeah.
And then in the I Never Know They Did It, George Perez did the adaptation of Logan's Run.
Oh, yeah, I had it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did all those, yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a Logan's Run Treasury edition? I can't remember.
I don't
think so, but I don't know for sure on that. I know Gene Colan did Jaws 2.
He did, and Tom Palmer inked him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Colan probably loved doing that, by the way. He loved doing movie books.
Yeah. Walt Simon and Klaus Jensen did Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And George Perez and Jim Mooney did Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the Bee Gees movie.
Wait, I just bought that movie. Who did that one? The adaptation?
George Perez and Jim Mooney.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to get that.
I would love to have Walt Simonson did Alien, which was incredible.
I have that.
I've seen
Right here.
Yeah.
You want to see it?
Yes.
I
Whip
had it
out
out.
that Walt Simonson.
We were drawing xenomorphs on the studio last week, which I didn't do. I didn't really draw xenomorph because I knew all those other guys did. So I took the book out.
Yeah,
I need
Homer's
really
been
every
working
book.
on his. He's still working on his, unless he's finished it.
I think he's finished. Mine looked like this. I did a woman instead because I'm just tired. I not tried to.
Nice.
Now this is done by
This is the
Bruce.
book you're talking about, right?
Yes.
See
yes.
how I've had this since 1980.
Yeah.
My mom used to
That's
work
nice.
before, so I would get all
Oh,
these
that's
books.
big treasury size. That's European
It came
size.
out. It was in 1979.
Yeah.
Cool.
It looked like, and this is how water. It looks like watercolor on a blue line. John Workman lettered it. He was the editor. And
Yeah.
put it together.
That was before
So that's-
Simonson really discovered his style.
Yeah, it was
but
before.
very cool.
Yeah,
right.
that's
Yeah,
really
this is
tight
an actual
work
good one.
for Simonson. Yeah, that's tight work.
Nice.
Wally Wood actually got to ink some on Hercules Unbound for DC Comics, right? He
That's
got to
right.
ink some Walt Simonson, right?
Yeah, nobody knew really what to do with Simonson because his style, like he did that Manhunter, and they won all those awards, but they didn't really know what to do with him because he had
Yeah,
that
we'll
unique
put him
style.
on Thor. He can't hurt that title at all.
Well, he did Thor once. He had a run on Thor once before,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Tony DeZingo, and then he those were layouts though, and you could kind of see it. Like he was doing layouts on all these books. He wasn't doing.
I
full
just
pencil.
don't appreciate Tony's stuff. I never have. I think he also did Arak, Son of Thunder, didn't he?
Yeah, he drew. Yeah, he drew that.
Yeah,
He-
I think one reason I hated his stuff is I couldn't pronounce his last name.
He inked John Buscema a while. He was a pretty good inker for John Buscema, though.
Yeah, that's debatable. And Ernie Chan's another one that's kind of debatable. I think they
I'm not
killed a
the
lot of
used-
the dynamism in his original artwork. And when you see these preliminaries that I and Elsie are going to put into a book, you'll say, wow, those look so much more dramatic than the actual pages.
Roy Thomas loved Ernie Chance. He loved to take that John Buscema basic thing and have these other foreign artists noodle it all up.
Do
so
you think John
sometimes it
Buscema
would be just
needed
spectacular.
he needed somebody to make his stuff look good? That's my question. I mean, when Ernie
used to
Chan,
draw
He liked
really
Ernie
great.
Chan, you know.
Ernie Chan,
Yeah.
a great artist on his own, great inker, but when he inks, it's going to look like Ernie Chan.
If you
yeah.
looked at the beginning, of the run, it was much more. He wasn't as overpowering.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he had
it-
a much lighter touch. But we also
Well,
don't-
I mean, Buscema might have been, he was a busy guy. He might have been just giving him layouts and, like you said, embellished
I've
it.
seen some of those Buscema pages where he just kind of really roughs it in. He doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he did that with
Like
the
he
Avengers the second
Like
time.
he wrote his name real fast. He just
And that's what he did with the
Bam.
second time with the Avengers too. He really, Tom Palmer did so much of that comic.
Yeah, it'd be.
He,
I don't even know how you could keep that fluidity throughout that, like he drew it without changing them. Yeah,
What you
Well,
got
that's
there,
totally
Rex?
different.
This is a
Yeah.
some
Buscema
inkers didn't want to
page,
ink it. They were afraid to ink John Buscema.
unidentified page. I haven't been able to find what
Yeah,
this
it's like
is actually.
squiggles.
Yeah, now these are preliminaries that it would put on his light box, and then he would do,
Nice.
and yeah, nice. This is Elsie's. This is the one that has his children's painting on the back.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's going to be in our book. This is going to be in our book.
That's
these
John
squigglies.
Buscema's grandchildren, not mine.
Oh, grandchildren. Yeah. And
Not mine, you know.
this oddly cut piece, but signed by him, is going to be in the book as well. The unseen artwork of John Buscema. These are original drawings by him. I'm struck at how artistic, almost like the Miller or like Van Gogh, characters just work.
Yeah, they almost look like charcoal. He's just kind of
yeah,
Lie, real lie.
And so that'll be in the book. And we're I've already started preliminary work on that book, and that'll be the book after Devil Flyer, and we'll play this for a second. Take a break. And it cuts off abruptly.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, you need to build in a little fade to black in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the original trailer that had the hard-hitting music that Doc Blaylock did for me, unfortunately, every time I do that, it goes, this cannot be monetized. This cannot be monetized. Apparently, it's not as public domain as, but
I got my new brush.
If you guys have never seen this, this is a one-of-a-kind item, kind of like his brush there. The color separation of Avengers #4. So
nice. That's cool.
Wow. Nice.
Rare.
Different stages there of the magenta
really nice.
and the
different.
yeah.
The way they used to do it. And not only that, Rex, the very first page is a black line of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, those would have been the plates. Yeah.
That they produced the book from. Bruce McCorkindale. Let's see, Morkindale. Okay. He did this Spider-Man facing a monstrous foe, based on Steve Ditko's artwork from Strange Tales 85 and Amazing Spider-Man, done in pen, brush, and ink on Bristol, 13 by 20. This is kind of like a what if Spider-Man were, encountered some of the early, sort of like the Atlas creatures that
monsters,
the monster era. And it's sad that we didn't get this actually. That's one thing that they say about the Thing, that Stan Lee was kind of like hedging his bets on Fantastic Four and throwing a monster guy in there, because monster stuff was very popular at the time. And
and they didn't have costumes at the beginning either.
They didn't what?
They didn't have costumes on that first cover either.
Right, that's right.
Oh no, and even on the second one, they didn't get costumes till issue 3. Now, Marcus, we've seen faces, we've seen eyeballs. Why not mouths?
Yeah,
it's always something. Yeah, get out of my head.
Did y'all hear the lightsaber Star Wars prop sold for about $3 million?
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
did
It
not.
was like
No.
it was one of the Darth Vader ones from Empire Strikes Back.
Man. Whoa, there you go.
Number from 1958 here. Yeah, wonderful. Out of this world cover.
Yeah.
Just love the different material here. I mean, you got paper, a newspaper with print on it, and metal and wood, crystal. It's just look at the inking on that on the background. Just really like Charlton's margins at this time as well. Often you would get, like on this one, 15 cents is put on there 3 times on the cover.
They didn't want to get cheated.
That's kind of unusual. Yeah, because most comics were 10 cents then, right? They wanted
Yeah, I
another
was watching
nickel.
a thing about the page count when because I think DC was the first said we're going to go to 25 cents, and Marvel did it, but Marvel only did it for like 1 month and then went back to 20 cents.
That's right. They hid their raising of the prices.
Yeah, it's like they
And then they went
agreed to
ahead.
do it with. They agreed to do it to do the increase when DC did it, but then they backed out on them.
Right. They increased it to 25 cents, and they doubled all the comics. And then, like in 2 months, Marvel just bailed out, and DC did it for the whole year.
Yes.
And Marvel, it looked like DC was putting reprints in the back, so the kids really liked newer stuff. Yeah, it was kind of like Dirty Pool.
What?
Well, one of my
I
first
watched a video about that.
One of my first books was a Legion of Superheroes 60 center that had a lot of the old Kurt Swan and Jim Shooter written stories, and I loved it. That made me a Legion fan from then on. Of course, I like big groups like, Fantastic Four, which was really not a big group, but you got like Avengers, Justice League, Legion of Superheroes. I like big groups. I always have. The more the merrier. And I've got to give, I never really liked his Hulk that much. Steve Ditko's Hulk. The original run only lasted 6 issues. There was just something about how he drew his face. And didn't make him just big, muscular. I mean, not that this isn't muscular, but just didn't quite look right to me.
He looked different. He looked different when he did in Tales to Astonish, though. It wasn't quite like this.
Oh yeah, he did change in Tales to Astonish, and like you were saying earlier in issue 60, that was the first time when he became angry. And even though the box up in the top left-hand corner had been used before, because I can see some examples even in the Golden Age of that being done, Ditko's really the one that popularized it, and that's why I call it the Ditko box. He kind of standardized that for Marvel, which is still used today. They throw back.
Yeah, they really, for him to have done that in the office, they couldn't have hated each other for that long. Like they had to have gotten along at some point.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. It was a different time.
This stuff was trippy when it first came out, but when you recolor it, and I can't say these colors really are better than the originals, but when you
got to think there's a way that they could mute those colors so that they aren't ridiculously vibrant, to offset the fact that they aren't on newsprint. Because they really, I picked up a hardcover of Marv Wolfman and Gene Colan's Night Force.
Oh, Night
Force. Oh, I love Night Force.
I did too, and I hadn't read it since I was like 14 or 15. So I got it and I was reading it, and it was just bugging me so much, that color on the slick paper. I was like, they got to mute this. I know they're recoloring it. They're not using the original plates, but they could tone it down and it'd look nicer. I did. I'm somewhere. I've got a copy of Batman Year One, where the colorist from the original went back and recolored it for the hardcover, and made some different color choices, but mostly made it so that the colors worked with the printing instead of being garish.
Now, I didn't know if my camera is going to communicate. No, if it's going to work.
Show us something other
but
than a blur. Yeah.
Right. Vaseline cam, I call it. But what do you think, Marcus? Did I smash?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's like that Hulk. Yeah, that's nice.
Is it coming through okay?
Oh, I can see it. It's
lower
blurry,
it.
but I can see it.
I can kind of see a blurred image. Yeah, but I really had fun on the foreground with the coloring, you know. I just don't think my camera's doing it justice.
No, probably
it is not. Yeah,
probably not. Yeah, and the colors may even be off, although they look right to me on that. It's only when you get into the red or the magenta range that it purples that
very nice,
starts
Rick.
going.
Good job.
Huh?
Good job. It's very
nice.
Yeah,
and that's going to be the interior cover to the Bog Story, which I'm doing. I will be working on that tonight, so all you guys are welcome back for later on a draw stream starting at 10. Marcus, if you want to show up, but you might
sure, thanks.
You might be late.
I think I have a show at midnight. Well,
you got a show at midnight?
Yeah,
okay.
Poor John's got whatever.
But the thing about my shows, Marcus, is you can draw anything you want.
Oh,
you don't have
I know.
To draw,
it's like that. Yeah, yeah.
You can't draw like we're all drawing Fembat or we're all drawing
the studio. Yeah.
We. Well, I mean, you know, Rex needs to upgrade his camera for sure. Yeah, nice Marie Severin. Yeah, a Hulk homage cover to 105, where she's got him the Hulk kind of coming out of the asphalt. I really didn't look at that. It's just kind of like gray, but I like the warmer colors, you know. And on the back, I do say Bog after Marie Severin Hulk 105 on the back, so I do give her credit.
Well, Rex, I was looking to see. I haven't gotten any new comic things really so much besides that one book. But I finally got from a Kickstarter from 2013.
Oh, wow.
It's this documentary about Mad Magazine called When We Went Mad. And
a Kickstarter from 2013?
And the movie finally came out. And I had actually only backed it, I think, for a digital copy. But because it took so long, they told us they were going to send us Blu-rays. And then they backed down and they sent us
DVDs.
DVDs. Unfortunately, I think after a while, it turned into less being interviews with the old Mad creators, because they did get a lot of them before they died, but they started putting celebrity interviews. That's the style nowadays, is to have somebody famous talking instead of the actual people who are interesting. But I haven't gotten to watch the extras. There's supposed to be some of the interviews they did with the original Mad guys.
Well, that's got to be a rare DVD that's out there. If they took that long to actually fulfill.
Isn't that produced by Adam Carolla?
Yeah, well, Adam Carolla came in at the end and bought it, I guess, and gave him the money to finish it.
I don't want to hear any complaints about being late on anything. If they have a 2013 Kickstarter that's over 10 years to fulfill, I'm doing good.
Yeah. And then I picked up, this is the Huckleberry Hound show they just put out.
Wow.
And the really interesting thing was, I've never seen it this way. They reassembled the show, because the show, originally it was they would have a Yogi Bear cartoon, a Pixie and Dixie cartoon, and then a Huckleberry Hound cartoon. And they found the bumpers and the Kellogg's commercials, many of them in color. And Kickstarter, I know they'd been around for a while in 2012, because that was my first Kickstarter, was 2012. But I've watched the first couple of episodes, and it looks great. And it's wild to see these old Kellogg's commercials with Yogi and stuff in them.
Now that was originally prime time on TV, wasn't it?
It was, and it was in black and white, and of course, they did most of it in color. So it looks. I mean, it's limited animation, but it looks as good as it can.
Now wait a minute. You're saying black and white on TV, most TV sets, because that's what most black and white TV, most TV sets.
Right. It wasn't
it
wasn't broadcast in color. It was broadcast in black and white, but they did do the shorts in color. So they knew that there was, future stuff they could do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't gotten around to watching. They've released a 3D version of Frankenstein's Bloody Terror.
Wow. You know what? That vampire out there looks like William Shatner to me.
He does kind of. And the bizarre thing is, I believe there are vampires and werewolves in this, but no actual Frankenstein. But it's called Frankenstein's Bloody Terror from 1968.
I saw Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah, I can see a little Clint Eastwood, but I think Shatner's
That's
about
what
right.
I saw.
I mean, then I actually picked this up. I like the cover.
Wow.
This is the 1998 Lost in Space. The one
I
with,
saw that.
Which
I like the artwork. Man.
Yeah, I love the artwork on this. The effects do not hold up very well, but I hadn't watched it in decades.
Can I see the back of it? The back of it?
The back of it's all text, unfortunately, but they do have
scenes. Okay,
yeah,
I'm not sure if I saw that version.
They've got a pretty cool little booklet here with. Remember, it had.
Now this is the one that was kicked off by the movie, right?
This was just a movie. Yeah, they did have cameos from most of the original cast.
How many episodes on this? I mean, no, not episodes, but how many seasons? There was at least 2 seasons.
No. This isn't the Netflix one. This is the movie they did in 1998.
Okay,
Gary
just the movie.
Gary Oldman played Dr. Smith, and he's both exactly like Dr. Smith was, but also terrifying at the same time. Yeah. It was the first one where they really did. That's Will Robinson with.
Now the Netflix series, I enjoyed that. Now, how many seasons was
like
that? Does anybody know? I own the first 2 seasons.
I want to say it was 3 or 4, wasn't it?
Does anybody know?
I don't remember, but this was
because I would like to get the rest of the seasons to that and complete it.
This was intended to be a big deal, and it actually does in cinematic history. It's one little footnote is this is the movie that knocked Titanic out of first place. Wow. But Titanic came out in like November, and this came out in May, so it took that long.
Well, I've got no respect for that movie now.
It's actually not a bad movie, but the CGI looks pretty primitive nowadays.
But did it really do? Did the movie really do well? I know there was a big build up. It did okay, right? Yeah, I think I went and saw it.
Came out around the same time that Godzilla movie came out. The one that with Matthew Broderick.
Oh yeah, 1999. Yeah, where lays eggs and has a bunch of smaller.
I think he has all those.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like that redesign, really. On Godzilla.
and I didn't think the Godzilla movie was very good, but I think this Lost in Space movie, it was interesting to watch it again this many years later, and it's got a lot of extras on it. It's the thing now is, you're not getting a lot of physical releases. So these sort of small shops, this is Arrow Video, are doing these releases now, and they're putting a lot into them. So,
well, that's neat. That's neat.
Yeah.
I'm like Elsie. I like that box artwork. I'm going to leave you with this on Ditko. Here's Ditko with his nieces and nephews. So that's pretty cool on his birthday. One of his birthdays.
That's nice. You know,
So this-
didn't the family sued? The family
Yeah.
sued Disney for the right for something, didn't they? For the
Well,
after
was
Ditko
suing-
died.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean something that he wouldn't do in his lifetime, but then they kind of picked up
Right.
the gauntlet and did. Yeah, after his death. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like these musicians and who die, and they
Suing
didn't
for
care if
like the
anybody.
rights. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
the people who they didn't care if somebody kind of borrowed a riff from them or something, but now their kids and grandkids after they're dead are suing everybody.
well, you know, I mean, at the time I can see
Infringement.
where they would say work for hire, you know, but now, you know, there should be something set up where like the creators of Superman and all these great characters or whatever, I mean, out of billions of dollars made, there ought to be a way to retroactively, you know, say thank you, you know, even if
Yeah,
it's just a
at
small
least.
royalty or stipend, you know. But now how you settle
Yeah.
on that, because then people go, well, we want more. We want more. You're making, well, I mean, it was work for hire, unfortunately. And
Right. Yeah. Well, you know,
know.
at the time, especially like in the 30s and 40s, they could draw those comic pages so fast that they were making decent money doing it.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
the thing. If you were quick and you get the gigs, you know, and keep up with
Yeah.
it. I mean, Ditko
Well,
and
if you
and
put together a studio and you could really churn those pages out quickly,
Oh,
then yeah, I mean, I can't imagine how many pages they were pumping out a week, and it, you know, you just don't see the future when you're going to realize you don't have a pension, you don't have a lot of
and
stuff.
it's non-stop. You don't have time to think about that stuff. You're
Right.
working, man.
Well, and you think you can do it forever.
What artists
And then,
do.
yeah.
well, I've got a
But-
controversial question before we get out of here, Mark. This one's just for Mark. When are you going to get a haircut?
I was actually thinking about that today. Yeah, I got to get
I
in
think
there.
that's
and-
the most
and
hair
do
I've
that.
seen on your head, my friend.
I have to get a hair.
Well, this is definitely not the longest my hair. I have a strategy where I grow it until it gets in my eyes. Then I get it cut real short, and that way I don't have to go that often.
I can't do that at my age. I think it's in my eyes, and it's really my eyebrow hair.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work for me anymore.
Oh
Yeah.
man, the first time I went and they asked me, "Hey, would you like us to cut
Especially on
your
full
eyebrows?" I
moon.
was like, "Is that a thing?" And they're going, "Yeah, they're really long." And they put the comb in, and then I was like,
Yeah.
"Wow, I really am old."
Yeah. And then you start getting the little hair on the little nubs here, you know.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit of gray. I've been lucky with that. I'm getting a
You're
little
going to
bit
be
of gray
Reed
on the
Richards in no time, my friend.
but so far, so good. And you know, I'll be 58 in January. So
Yeah, well, in November I'll be 60. I'm trailing
Whoa.
behind Marcus. I think he's a little bit.
I'll be
older.
60 October 29th.
wow.
Yeah, just a few days older than I am.
Yeah, 4 days, I think.
I plead the
When you
fifth.
go boat, comb your eyebrows over the top of your head. Yeah.
I still have some hair. I need a haircut myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, when you're on the road like you are, Marcus, you know, I'm like you. I drive, you know, when I work at night, I drive hours, you know, hundreds of miles. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you know, on average about 130 something. I know one night I drove like 165 miles, something like that, which
We
is
did that
nothing compared
yesterday,
to what you
In a
did,
4
but-
mile area. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
Carrie,
at 14 miles an hour, some of it. You know, I make old women look good. You know what I mean?
Carrie's my favorite.
Some old men too. They're
Look
like,
at
look
there.
at,
Yeah.
like, yeah, look, kids, it's the slow guy, and he's got to get that exhaust fixed, you know, because I'm blowing it.
No, the studio.
Yeah.
The studio one show.
Yeah, it's
driving
interesting.
along
You
and
know,
people
when
walking past you.
I ended on a Tuesday and Texas Dave was here, and I was like, I got to go to work and clock in. So I get about 2 blocks from the house, and bam, this illegal alien knocks my whole front of my truck in, and
Oh
throws for it.
no!
Yeah, but now this has been years ago, okay? And
Oh, okay. I thought this was
yeah,
this Tuesday.
right after I got the truck, it had 6,000 something miles on it. Now it's got like 11,000 on it. But then right after that, about a week after that, or maybe that same week, this little texting darling or something on her phone, that's all I can tell. She goes, bam, and hits my work truck in the back. Of course, it didn't shake me up that much. I just said, oh, no, not again.
Well, that way
Because
the front and the back match.
I've got about 1,200, 1,300 pounds in the back of the truck from the fogger that's back there, so I wasn't going anywhere. And she was like, she was like slow-mo. Oh no.
Something just happened to me. I was just pulling out in front of my complex. I would drop something off at my apartment, and I'm going slow. It's a parking lot. Boom! This girl hits me right in the driver's side door.
Oh wow!
And then you have to go through. You have to call the book manager, and you got to do this, do that. Oh. So that was aggravating. And I had to go to. Now I don't usually go to Tennessee, but I had to go to Nashville. Nashville's like 7.5 hours from my house.
Yeah, I thought I would never get from Atlanta to where Jackson was. With Elsie, I barely made it. I mean, I was like walking like Old Man River when I got there. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, I know.
I worked
Elsie,
my ass
are
off.
you in Jackson, Mississippi?
No, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Jackson, Tennessee.
Yeah, there is a Jackson, Mississippi.
In Memphis.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm right in the middle.
I had to go down Jackson, Mississippi and get a pump when I went down to Florida to spray one year. I think that was back in maybe 2017. I can't remember. But when that hurricane came in and hit Texas and then skipped over and hit Florida. Big disaster area in both of those states. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Hope you guys will join us again for our draw stream at 10. I'll have to go and set that up, and I'll start rolling off some margins to do some interior pages, and maybe I'll work on a glitch cover. Maybe I'll work on my Dr. Mask piece. Huh?
So I'll try to join later. It was fun. It was fun being here. It's nice to these relaxing streams. The studio is fun, but it's not always relaxing.
Marcus, first time, been trying to get him on here forever.
It all depends. Like I don't like to go on when I'm driving.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. That, and so lots of times I'm listening to you guys. On my last hour, I should be home at 5 every day, but I'm not local. I cover all of North Carolina.
Yeah.
So
I wanted, if I could, I knew you were in the chat almost every day, and I really appreciate that. And like you say, it's kind of variety. It's always different each day.
But if I come back at 6 and you're still going, and it depends on dinner and a lot of different things,
Right. Well, I mean, we'll be doing Ditko next week. If you want to come back, I will definitely send you the link, because I know you know a lot of behind the scenes things about a lot.
I don't know why, but I do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could study comics all your life and still not get a PhD. You could study
good
comics.
Memory.
Yeah.
And I was injured and stuck in hospitals as an adult. And what did I do? I read about comics,
Elsie is awesome. He creates beautiful artwork.
That's very
worship
nice.
art. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be
love watching you draw in the studio. Yeah, and
studio
on Saturdays.
We have to draw Devil Flyer one day, or Bog or whatever. One of your characters.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
it's not my call. Don says we all run the show, but we don't. He runs the show. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do my thing regardless of what you guys do.
You run your art, I'll run my art, and we'll all get along.
But you run it into the ground.
Well, we got into the habit of, and I kind of like doing drawing these drawing the characters of the people that are guests. Like it's a promotional thing for them. So I do kind of like doing that.
Yeah, we got to get Shadow Punk on again. Shadow Punk launches the 10th on his book. Watch the studio from Mama Donna and her one-liners out of nowhere. Yeah.
Hey, out of nowhere.
That's where you draw them from. That's where I get mine, out of nowhere, just out of the ether. Like, oh, that'd be cool to say. So if I can get a word in edgewise, I say it, but with Homer, it's kind of hard.
Homer's quieter on the studio.
Don't be hating on Homer now.
What? Yeah, I mean, Homer was definitely, Homer was definitely nice. Last time I was on his Hump Day show, he actually kicked himself because he's only got so many slides and let me kind of moderate the thing. So that was very humbling to have him do that on his own show.
Yeah, Hump Day show's a nice, relaxing show too.
Yeah, I like that we get a lot of work done. So very cool, Mark, that you got your DVD and Blu-ray set done, and you'll be fulfilling soon. Pulling,
Yes.
And you won't maybe not have to pull out so much hair.
Well, as long as I have a lot of hair right now, I can still do it.
I feel a lot better now. I mean, if a Kickstarter can take from 2013 till now, geez.
Well, I had heard that he was working on that. Corolla did that.
So yeah, he came in at the end. So this guy had been working on this documentary.
Right, he said that
years and years.
Yeah,
and Corolla, I guess, put together a production company.
Yeah, he has a production company. He does.
Yeah, and so he came in and bought it, and I think Corolla is why they got a bunch of these celebrity interviews.
He does a lot. He really does a lot of good documentaries too. I've watched a few of them on racing and stuff.
Yeah. You can actually this is like on video on demand or whatever, if you like Hulu or Apple TV or whatever one, Vudu, I guess, or whatever those things. You can rent this and watch it. It's pretty good.
And then lose it and tell them, hey, I lost them. Sorry.
But yeah, I
do what he says, folks.
Yeah, I think I think it's cool that he was able to finally get it done. And I love Mad Magazine, of course, so I was rooting for him.
Oh yeah, had Harvey Kurtzman at the School of Visual Arts too.
Oh, thank you, Gary.
I'll
work on, and next time I come on, I'll have like heavy metal hair and
I had down to my shoulders at one time.
Need not apply.
It wasn't
long-haired freaky people need not apply.
Need not apply. I've never made it.
$10 to $2,000. 43 backers.
Nice.
199%. So he's almost at 200%. He gets another backer.
Well done.
Consider going over to Fund My Comic, and you will get like up here. This piece of artwork here is hand done by Brent. At $1,000, every backer gets this on a bookmark, and we're going to play the trailer and get on out of here. As Fembat says in this panel here, I'm ready to rock. Thank you for joining the 4 o'clock shadow. Steve Ditko, part 2 next week. Same time, same Fembat channel.
Go-go dance. Need some go-go dancers.
He wants a go-go dancer. Yep, that's part of the story.
She's got mini skirts, knee boots.
Yep, she was a go-go dancer bitten by vampires.
In a club dancing.
How often does that happen?
Not as often as you'd think.
I tell you.
Like a door.
Hey, anything with electric organ. Back in today.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Mr. Good Stuff kind of did that. Trailer,
Nice.
Fembat.
Great
We got
trailer.
some
Great trailer.
down at the bottom. We've got, speaking of Dawn, look at this new Dawn
Oh,
thing there.
Yeah, beautiful.
Added.
Yep, I have one in there too.
You do, and that's why I was showing there. There's a Omer, and that's going to be on a T-shirt. And there's Peter's work, aka Pad, Peter DeLuca, and then
That John Apple.
John Apple there, and Tank Ferret. Very nice. Yeah, he's
One
got a
more
couple
up.
of pieces. Yeah,
There's mine.
there's Marcus Tatas.
Yeah, well, that's that.
Nice Death Star, by the way.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what my plan was.
Yeah. Yeah. So enjoy your evening, keep collecting, and we will see you again, hopefully, here tomorrow on the 4 o'clock shadow.
Good night.
And
Thank you for letting me on.
also next week when we talk about Steve Ditko again, and hopefully we'll get Dr. Mask on for that one. If not, because he was the one that recommended sort of the no-brainer Steve Ditko.
Well, he really is
well,
the
hopefully
Charlton
we
guy,
see
right?
Marcus before that. Come on. Now.
To do him, and really he's the only reason I'm doing part 2. But now there is so much to cover on Steve Ditko, and he did such wonderful work. So I he's one of the exceptions to the rule. I didn't intend to do a part 2 to this, but since Dr. Mask couldn't do it, and it was like one of his favorite artists, so maybe he'll. And if he doesn't join me next week for the second part, I'm going to disown him as a stepchild. But yeah, we always have fun here, on a daily basis. So hopefully you enjoy the content. We'll have Phil Diaz on at some point, hopefully, talking about his new sort of supernatural Westerns. I want to kind of get his take on it. I don't know why Westerns are so popular, but they are. And
I think it's just a bit of a coin. Well, it starts with Wraith of God was so good, and now everybody wants to do a Western. It gets it in your mind. I could do a Western.
Octopus, man.
Yeah.
That octopus had like 6 or 8.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, Octopus Cowboy. Yeah, I mean, there's been so many different ones. I know Richard Embry's got one. I mean, a lot of Westerns. But now somebody told me, Marcus, that there was a very popular video game, and this makes sense to me because
Red Dead Redemption
is so much bigger. And that's based on another video game.
That's been around for a long time, and my kids had those video games years ago.
Yeah,
and they're at like 4 or 5.
Maybe that's what's
in their late 20s. So
maybe that's what's making it popular. And I've only got one.
Yeah,
I've only got one thing to say before we get out of here, and that's not keep collecting because I've already said that. Gunsmoke.